Look at that. Huh? Voila. Look at that. Let me see something. Oh, yeah. And right? And just pour it all in here. Let it do what it do for a few. And you can go and buy your box if you want, you know, but if you have that, or even if you have bouillon cubes, chicken bouillon cubes, or beef, you can use that. Same way, let it dissolve. Because I usually keep the broth and, the stock in here, but I ran out. So this substituted. And you know what else? Like if you have a bad stomach like mine is today, you can drink that too. That broth to settle your stomach. You got a bad cold and stuff, yep, you can make your own chicken noodle soup with that stuff too. Boil your noodles, put it in there, put your little seasonings in there. Oh yeah. Okay, you see what it's looking like? I chopped it all up. Look at that. Make sure that your meat is done. Some people be rushing stuff. And I still have my thyme sprigs in there, right? And of course, I'm going to transfer this to another pot. Do you notice that I didn't have hardly no oil in here to drain? Hardly none. Look at that. Was hardly nothing to drain. But if you, because this is a good grain of ground beef, because usually be so much oil in here, you got to drain it off. I didn't have really nothing to work with. But if you buy that anything under 80, you're going to have to drain your grease off because you don't want to keep that grease. It's going to be a whole lot. As you see, probably no grease at all in here. Right? And then you want to, after this meat is done, give it a little taste to see what else you need in here. You may need more, you may not. So I'm going to let that cook because it's still a little red in here. But remember, I can't stress enough, pour that grease off of your meat. If it's a whole lot, don't put that broth in over a bunch of grease because you'll see it at the top. And as you see in here, you don't see no grease. You see the broth. There's a little bit of something in here, but it ain't nothing to, to cry about. Look at that. Because if you don't take that grease off, all you're going to see right here is nothing but grease. Right? And you see that, right? Yep. Okay. So now, I'm going to take this pack. You can use this or not. Hey, Miss Flo. I'm making some chili. I keep talking about the easiest thing you can make. It's just how you let it cook. So I'm going to put this whole packet in here. And that's going to bring the heat. Not too much heat, but enough. Alright. I think I got my gloves on. I'm just sweating a little bit. Incorporate that in there really good. And if you make it too spicy, put your water in there. That's all. You may have to put some more seasonings in, but it's okay. It's okay. There's no perfect cook out here. If it is, I want to know who he or she is. You know, sometimes you go to trial and error. Okay. Now I'm going to transfer this into another pot because now comes our tomatoes. But I'm going to taste this. I want to just taste just the juice. Mmm. That is good. And it also tells me, right, that I need a little more seasons, but I'm going to wait until I transfer it over and then put the tomatoes in here. So keep an eye on that for me, okay? Don't let that burn. Be right back. Ta-da! We're going to transfer it over. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Clean sweep, right? Clean sweep. Sort of. Sort of. I didn't get it all, but I got most of it. Okay. There we go. Now let me let you, can you see in that pot? Hey, Cousin Lenore. Okay, so I'm going to turn my fire down because you know these pots have the tendency to have, you know, the stuff gets stuck in there. Now I have my own little tomatoes from my garden. They all whole, they washed. I'm going to put those in there. And where's my allspice? Okay. Remember I told you in your sauces, if you like, but I'm telling you, it brings a nice flavor to it. Your allspice and those 2 cloves I told you about, right? Okay, here go the 2 cloves. And not a whole lot of these pebbles now. You don't want to be overbearing. I'm going to do 5. You do how many you want. I'm doing 5. Okay, so now here's your diced tomatoes, right? Give it a good stir. And whole tomatoes. Because when you bite into that and all that seasoning, your mouth gonna be on Happy Street. And I'm using 2. Right? And then this is going to thicken this up, okay? Let me just give it a good stir. Leave those tomatoes whole, because if you cook it enough, they will bust themselves open. And if they don't, when you put them on your plate while you're eating, just slice them. I'm going to let mine just bust open. If they don't, I'm going to help it. Now this is going to thicken the pot. No water. I always tell y'all, don't use that water with the tomato paste. You don't need it. Alright? You're not going to need the water because you want it to stick. You want it nice and hearty. Did I ever tell you about the homemade cornbread? I went to live with my sister in Camden, South Carolina, right? And our cousin Ella and Clyde would make, well, Ella, she was a good cook. And my sister always said, Ella's cornbread is so, so good. So I said, Ella, how'd you make the cornbread? And my sister had already told me too. So we sitting at the kitchen talking and whatnot. And she put 2 cups of cornmeal, 1 egg beaten, and milk. But she took the butter and the oil. She put the oil in the bottom of the pan, just enough. And then she put a butter, half a stick or a stick of butter, and put it in the oven. She let it melt, and then she poured it into her batter. Huh? Homemade, and it's good. God, it's good. That's the way I've been making it ever since my sister them showed me that. Sharon, you remember that? Yep. Clyde and Ella. Okay. So you want to let that cook a little more. Now, I guarantee you I'm going to need some more seasoning there. I can tell you that right now. Why? Take a guess. Because I added unseasoned tomatoes. Pepper flakes. We want some heat on it, but we don't want your nose running and all that stuff. So, only thing I'm going to put in here is some sea salt. Right? And I'm going to taste it. And I'm going to let it do what it do. We're going to move on to this cornbread I just told you about. Let me get that oven on here. Do that. Let's get that started. Okay. Watch that. Don't let it burn. Thank you. Okay. So, I am going gonna taste this. And I already rinsed off my beans and stuff. You don't want to pour that can of beans. My sister said, yes, dear. Okay, so let's taste this, right? Okay. I want to put some more basil in here. Right? Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. We'll put a little sugar in here. You judge your own sugar, okay? I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in. Because it's a big pot. And I'm going to freeze half of this. For another good old chili kind of day. I'm going to freeze half of this. And I'm going to open up a few of these tomatoes. I'm just anxious to taste one. But if you let it do its cooking, right? These the whole tomatoes, they'll do their thing. They'll do their thing. All right, let me see now. That's what she wrote. But I want something else. So, a little bit of Worcestershire. Just a little bit. There we go. And we good to go. I'm going to turn this fire down. Because this pot here, sometimes my stuff sticks to the bottom of it. Even if I spray it. And it's the stainless steel you got to be careful with. The stainless steel. And I got so many pot sets in this house. I'm about to bless somebody. I went downstairs and looked, and lo and behold, we was trying to find where half that wedding stuff is at. It was in a cubby downstairs. There's so many cubby holes in this house, I gotta tell you. Okay, so we used everything that we had up here. I'm gonna put a little more fresh oregano. Use your herbs. Use them sparingly if you want to, but be heavy-handed with your herbs. I'm telling you, that's gonna bring out your taste. So I'm gonna clean stuff up a little bit, and then we're gonna get down to the cornbread, the corny bread. I'm gonna put a top on here. Remember to keep tasting it now. Some people like it real spicy and hot. But always remember, you don't want to be doing this here while you're eating it. I don't know, some people enjoy it like that, but I don't know, to each his own. But this is a good pie. This is a good pie, it make you wanna dance. I know this is good. Yeah. Okay. I'll put a little more chili. I want some heat. So, but basically, that's how you make, well, one version of chili sauce, chili. I'll put all my stuff back, right? I was going to use that bay leaf, and I decided not to. I ain't really need it. Right? I'm going to go a little bit, just a little tad more there. And then I get my taster to come in here. He requested that. Art wanted chili today. He likes chili, so... And then I get him to come in here. Hold up, I got one more thing I want to do here. One more thing. One more thing. I want to put a little boost. That's all she wrote, folks. That's all she wrote. Okay, so... I'm going to clean some of this junk out the way. And then we are going to move on to the cornbread, which is so easy. I just told you all the ingredients in it. And I thank my sister for that. Now see, my sister is a chef. I'm not. Sharon's the chef, ain't me. But she taught me a lot of stuff, especially Jamaican food. My sister taught that to me.